Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this High 5 video. This is the High 5 epic moment playsets that I want Mattel to make. Now, epic moments, it's a brand new series, it's a brand new line that Mattel are bringing in 2018. They've announced 2 epic moments that they're going to release. I think the first one is the Festival of Friendship, and that is going to feature Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and all of the different accessories that went into the Festival of Friendship. The second one they're going to release is the Hardy Boys. So you get both Hardy Boys in elite figure form, and then you get a couple of ladders, and you get the Raw Tag Team Championships. So really, it's what it says it is. It's recreating epic moments like the Festival of Friendship, like the Hardy Boys returning. And I was thinking, going back in the history of wrestling, what epic moments could Mattel make, or what epic moments would I want Mattel to make? And I've given this some thought because there's been some amazing moments, but I'm not sure how Mattel could turn that into an epic moment series, like Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. You could have a Hogan figure, you could have an Andre the Giant figure, and a ring. I don't know, like, that doesn't seem like it works. So I've had to really pick the moments very carefully. So let's have a look at what I've chosen. So here are my High 5 epic moments that I want Mattel to make. So at number 5, this happened in April. It was the 27th of April, 1998, and DX with like some kind of armor, vehicle, military thing with a gun, sort of, probably didn't work. Probably wasn't a real gun, but they drove over to WCW that were in the same town and tried to get in and cause like havoc, like legitimately went over. They were like interviewing the fans outside, asking them if they'd bought their tickets or got free tickets, and quite a lot of them were saying that they'd been given free tickets. And it was so cool. It really kind of captured the Monday Night Wars, because at that time you had WWE and Monday Night Raw, and you had WCW and Monday Night Nitro, and yeah, you know, it was one side attacking the other, one side going over there, and it is a moment. Now, they've already released the Triple H figure from that moment, and I might, yes, have, he doesn't have his accessories with him at the moment, but that is the Triple H. You can see it's got like the DX jacket on. He had like a microphone and thing. I've got my box of accessories here, because whenever I use the figures for things, I try and keep the accessories safe. So in here somewhere should be a microphone. Well, there's the DX helmet, look. So we've got here we go. There it is. That is the megaphone. We've come to invade. So you got that as well. So yeah, it was, you know, it was such a moment. They've already released that figure with those accessories, but could you imagine if they released a China figure? I mean, everyone is desperate for a China figure. She was there, so she could feature in this. So you could have China as the figure, and then put the vehicle with her, and then just have like a few, I don't know, guns and things. Now, it might seem a little violent for WWE and a Mattel playset, but you have to remember that things like G.I. Joe exist in the world, and Action Man, I think, still exists in the world. And so, you know, Nerf guns and things like that. So maybe Mattel wouldn't want to do this because they wouldn't want, you know, to be making guns and things, right? Which I understand. But it would be cool, right? There's no two ways about it. It would be cool, and that's what matters more than anything else. At number 4, buried alive matches. Now, right? I understand that there are better epic moments than the buried alive matches. I think there's been about 5 of them in the history of wrestling, and they've provided moments, epic moments, but maybe there are things that are more epic. But I was just thinking, if Mattel was to make the buried alive playset so that you could actually put a figure in a grave, yes, it sounds morbid, but, right, it's cool. And what we've just said is that if it's cool, that's all that matters, right? I still stand by that. But, yeah, there's been 5 buried alive matches. So how awesome would that be if you had a little tombstone and a grave, and then, like, you could have your figures fighting, one of them goes in the grave, and then, you know, there's some way of putting dirt on top or something. I don't know, like fake dirt or whatever. Maybe it's just a piece that goes over, and then, like, that's it. They're buried alive. But I just think that as a set would be so cool. Like, collectors would like to have it just on display. And I appreciate, like, it might be quite a lot for them to make. So don't put figures with it. Simple as that. Don't put figures with it. There's enough, like, Mankind figures already out there, and Undertaker figures already out there. You know, you can even recreate other matches like Undertaker against Stone Cold Steve Austin. That happened. I think Undertaker Kane as well. That was a match that happened. Those figures exist and have existed for a long time. Don't need to put the figures with it. Just have the grave, and that would be so cool. At number 3, now I've gone with something a little more modern, and the reason for this is because my number 1 and 2 set in stone, right? They're not changing. As soon as I thought of doing this video, numbers 1 and 2 were the first things that came to my mind, so I'm not changing them. So I wanted something that was recent, and again, I want something like that buried alive that people are going to enjoy having on display, and they're also going to enjoy playing with if they want to play with their figures, which is why the epic moment that I want Mattel to allow us to recreate happened in April of this year, and it is when Braun Strowman tipped over the ambulance. And this makes perfect sense because not only did he do it in that moment, but they went on to have an ambulance match, and obviously that created a whole new epic moment. So it would be cool if you got the ambulance and then you got a Braun figure or a Roman figure. You haven't got to put both of them in with this set. Again, those figures already exist, so that's not the main purpose of this. The main purpose is the ambulance, but you could recreate at home Braun Strowman tipping over the ambulance. You could recreate the ambulance match, and there's been many ambulance matches in the past. I just think that this would be really cool, a cool accessory, a cool vehicle for us to have, and recreate, like, our favourite moments, our favourite ambulance matches. But certainly that moment where Braun Strowman tips over the ambulance whilst Roman Reigns was inside, it was epic. I need to go and watch it again, actually. That'll be on the network, won't it, now? So, at number 2, this is a moment that I've not actually checked if it's on the network. It will be, but I've not watched it in a long time. We are going back to 1992, and this moment changed wrestling. The barbershop moment. This was the breakup of the Rockers. So Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty had been arguing for a long time. And actually this was filmed at the end of 1991 in December, but it wasn't shown until January 1992. And basically Shawn Michaels on the barbershop made up with Marty Jannetty, his partner, and just as they were celebrating, he super kicks him and knocks him down, picks him up and hurls him through a pane glass window. That moment is one of the most shocking in wrestling history. The Rockers split up, and then that is the birth of the Heartbreak Kid. That is where Shawn Michaels really becomes Shawn Michaels. And, you know, you could easily recreate that in Mattel form. You just need like a diorama, just a staging of the barbershop. It should come with the little barbershop chair. And then the glass just needs to be like breakable plastic. Very similar to what they do with like the entrance stage and how you can put someone through the entrance staging. So it just needs to be that. And then ideally, if they could afford it, we would get Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty in their attire from that day. They've actually just released a Brutus the Barber Beefcake Elite, so it's like perfect timing. And honestly, anyone that knows anything about wrestling, older wrestling, knows this moment. This would really resonate with people. This is huge. And that brings us to number 1, and this was easy peasy lemon squeezy. It is King of the Ring 1996, the birth of Austin 316. What is so cool about this is it is one of the biggest moments in wrestling history, but also, again, from a Mattel playset point of view, you would be getting King of the Ring accessories. So you could have King of the Ring matches, and you would have a throne, you would have a crown, you would have a robe, you would have a scepter, you would have some steps going up to the throne. It's absolutely perfect. They have to do this. They have to make this set. For those of you that don't know, June 23rd, 1996, Stone Cold Steve Austin wins King of the Ring, and he beats Jake the Snake Roberts. Now, Jake the Snake Roberts was a born-again Christian, and in Stone Cold's kind of acceptance speech, his winner's speech, his victory speech, he tells them to remove Jake the Snake Roberts from the ring, and says, you know, I know that you're a born-again Christian, you talk about your John 3:16, well, Austin 3:16 said I just whipped your ass. Now, with this playset, I wouldn't be too fussed if they included a Stone Cold figure. I would actually want a Doc Hendrix figure. That was Michael P.S. Hayes, but obviously not in his fabulous Freebird attire or anything. He was in his kind of announcer's role, his interviewer's role as Doc Hendrix, and that's not a figure that we've had before, which I just think would be really, really cool. And so, like, you could have him with the playset. I think everyone's pretty much got a Stone Cold Steve Austin figure, so that's not essential. But the throne and the crown and the robe and all of that stuff. I mean, you could recreate like Bret Hart from '93, or you could recreate Booker T. Obviously, King Booker had a figure out recently, a Hall of Fame figure, so you could like have him being crowned with the throne. It's like, ah, it's perfect. It's perfect. Mattel, you need to make this. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I'd love to know your thoughts. Is there maybe something that I've missed or something that you would prefer? I was trying to keep it like just really big moments or things that I felt would benefit people that like enjoy playing with their figures. Like, I'd love like Piper's Pit. That would be awesome. And there's been some epic moments, like when he slammed the coconut against Jimmy Snuka's head. But I just don't know if that's going to really resonate with like the youngsters that watch wrestling these days. So I'm not sure if that would like sell that well for Mattel. You know, check me out. I'm like Enzo. Hey, how you doing? Awesome, guys. If you like the video, give it a like. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully See you again next time. Bye for now.